All right, our win goes to Valve and Epic for having beef with each other. Chet Folozek, a former writer for Valve, has thrown shade at Epic CEO Tim Sweeney after the company's massive layoff. In a TikTok video, he lampooned Tim Sweeney and insulted the culture and creativity of modern Epic games. He pointed out that Epic just makes one game that employees have no agency over for the sake of profit, yet Gabe Newell is better at that than him. So he points out that like all they care about is profit, and they fuck over their employees. And even then, Gabe Newell's doing better because he doesn't fuck over his employees and he makes more money. So what's going on there? Here's a quote from him directly. He says, Tim has gone from making games to making one game, spending all of his time doing that and trying to make as much money as possible. And I guess, well, hey, Tim, Gabe's better at that than you. I don't know what to tell you, man, because you stopped caring about making things. And it's also kind of funny coming from a developer from a studio that doesn't make games anymore. I mean, to be fair, they do a good job at running Counter-Strike and Dota. I mean, those are two of the most popular games of all time. They have the biggest gaming platform ever. And then they also, like, occasionally they will make a game like Half-Life Alyx and it'll be really good. Like, Valve, for all you can say about them, one thing that they don't do is miss. They never miss. Except for that one time they very, very publicly missed with their card game. I don't even remember what it was called, but that card game was shit. Based. No, Valve does make tons of games. Issues they don't release them. That's honestly probably true. One of the biggest esports platforms. If you made as much money as Valve does, though, and you had the sort of reputation that they have for making such good games, it's honestly kind of a blessing. Like, I would love to be able to make games and then like just say that's not a good game, we're not releasing it. Like with all these other studios, like Ubisoft, when they make Skull and Bones, they have to release it, because if they don't, they go bankrupt. Like, Valve has the unique luxury of saying, like, we don't like the game, it didn't turn out like we thought it would, so we're just not going to release it. And I think the same thing happened with Half-Life 3, because they were working on Half-Life episode, or is it Half-Life 2 episode? I don't remember. The newest installation of Half-Life was in development. They just didn't release it. And I think it's because they decided, like, it's not pushing the series forward. It's not as good as the previous ones. They don't want to just make an iterative thing. They want to make something that moves forward the genre. And I don't know. I think that's an amazing place to be. Like, I think Valve is probably the only studio that has that sort of luxury. At Valve, if you want X, you go do X, but you are now the leader for Project X, and anyone can join you. That's how Steam Deck came around. It was 15 or so engineers going, let's do this thing. Really? I have heard that. So part of the story was this former worker at Valve saying, like, when you work on a project, you own it. And he didn't really elaborate, so a lot of people didn't know what he was talking about. But he was saying that, like, at Valve, you own your work. Like you own Valve. You're a part owner, even though you're not, like, technically. And it's a totally different culture from something like Epic Games, where you go in, you clock in to make some slop for the next Fortnite update, and there's nothing else. Like, they don't make anything over there. I don't know about Deadlock. I played it on release, but never again. I heard Deadlock was actually really good. It's not out though, right? They're still working on it, aren't they? I've heard that it was because it came out around the same time as, like, I think an Overwatch update, and people were saying it was better than Overwatch. So you can do whatever you want at Valve as long as you make contributions to or if you contribute to the betterment of Steam or its ecosystem. That makes sense. That's pretty cool. I would love to work at a place like that. Isn't it also like Valve makes so much money? It's like, and it has so few employees. They make like $100 million per employee or something crazy like that. Anyways, this all leads into our next and final fail and our biggest story of the week. I kind of alluded to it, but we're going to actually dig into the details here. Our fail goes to the unreal layoffs that happened this week. Epic Games shocked the world this weekend when they laid off over 1,000 employees. making up around 20% of their workforce. The reported reason stems from a downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025. So it's been like a year and they're already like, yeah, let's start cutting people. It's kind of crazy because Epic has been burning so much money. Tim Sweeney has been buying up famously like hundreds of thousands of acres of land in North Carolina to preserve it. They've been doing costly $1 billion lawsuits against Google and Apple for market share in the Play stores and stuff like that. Like, they've been burning through money. And then now all of a sudden they have one bad year and everyone's got to fucking go. That's crazy. And then these firings also come with further cuts to contracting, marketing, and the closure of open job roles to save an additional $500 million. Ampere Analysis paints a clear picture of what's happening here with a 28% decline in console players for Fortnite and an average playtime dropping from 29 hours to 15.4. So not only are they losing players, they're losing the amount of hours that these players are putting into it. Some of the fired people, one of them was the lead writer, who had been there since the Save the World, so like literally the original Fortnite, lead character artist who created the iconic Jonesy character, a principal engineer working on security, who had been spending his last week working there, while recovering from pneumonia. So he's literally he's clocking in, working from home with fucking pneumonia. They were like, hey, you're out of here. Here's a quote from Tim Sweeney. He says, "We're spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded." You guys are still talking about Valve. We're moving on to the Unreal layoffs. Moving on to our next part of the story, the difficulty in job searching. So these 1,000 people are now going into a market that's very difficult for game developers. Competition in the video game jobs market has been reaching a fever pitch as finding a job has become more difficult. Alexander Brandon, the composer behind Deus Ex and the original Unreal, which is funny that it comes back to Unreal, has opened up to the fact that he's only gotten one interview in the last year after applying to 50 different positions. He's also pointed to other industry leaders like Bungie's former head of audio, who's been making a living on contract work. He can't even find a stable job. Now over 1,000 more talented unemployed artists have entered the market that may not have a job for them. Here's the quote from him. He says, "I've submitted 50 resumes and I've gotten one interview from the last year." Brandon told PC Gamer, "It's brutal out here." Dude, this is insane. This is insane. They will just make their own company. That's such an easy cope. Like, not everybody can make their own company. Some people can, but like not everyone's like, not everyone's a philanthropist, or not even what do you call that? Not everyone's a business minded person. Some people are just artists, right? Not every character artist needs to make their own studio or whatever. Some people are just better working on a team. Not everyone's a game director either. Guy is not submitting enough resumes. That's true. I mean, 50 resumes is kind of low, but it gives you like the same idea. He's getting 1 in 50 hits. That's like not good, especially when you're like literally like an industry titan. You know what I mean? So it's kind of concerning. 50 is nothing. That is true. That 50 is very few. For his position, it's bad. Yeah, dude. I mean, this guy has a Wikipedia article, right? Like if I were a studio head and I had someone who was famous enough to have a fucking Wikipedia article, that would be an instant hire, right? Like that's the kind of person that you should be reaching out to, right? Kind of crazy. I sent out 100 job applications for my uni job, but you also don't have any like experience, like your building experience. Like it can't be understated the fact that this guy is an industry titan and he's getting a lot of no's. That's crazy. That's the point to this story. Like, and it's not just him. Like if you have no job experience, you're trying to enter the video game jobs market, you could submit 1,000 applications right now, you might not get a job. Like it's really rough. This is just an extreme example. Of course, he probably should have applied to more, but he's also not at the experience level where he needs to be like applying to literally anything, trying to see what sticks. Like he's way too experienced for that. Like you wouldn't be a CEO applying to every single Starbucks opening, right? There's probably not many job offerings for someone of his stature in a lot of these studios. Yeah, for entry level it's pretty common, but the biggest point here is his experience, and is still not landing him many jobs. Anyways, moving on to our next part. Terminally ill father fired. One of the fired Epic employees was Mike Prink, a tech writer and programmer. Mike is a father and a husband battling terminal brain cancer. Epic severance package comes with 4 months of base pay and extension on health insurance, but employees are on their own after that. One big hit was the loss of life insurance that, even if it were transferable, would have a prohibitive cost to it, which basically means it would cost more than the payout would be worth. So it would probably cost like $1 million. After going viral, the company had this to say: Epic is in contact with the family and will solve the insurance for them. There is a high confidentiality around medical information, and it was not a factor in this layoff decision. Sorry to everyone for not recognizing this terribly painful situation and handling it in advance. So only after did this story went viral did they do anything about it. This is just US stuff, bruh. It's actually disgusting, and it just goes to show like how little the heads of this company actually realized they were affecting people's lives, right? This is not the only person who has their life ruined from this. I mean, this is just one example. There was 1,000+ people fired. You think this is the only person going through a traumatic experience? Here's a post from his wife on what looks to be maybe Facebook. She says, "I never imagined I would be writing something like this. My husband Mike was recently laid off along with 1,000 others at Epic Games. What makes this different for our family is that Mike is currently fighting terminal brain cancer. Because of the layoff, we didn't just lose income, we lost his life insurance. And because his condition is now considered pre-existing, he can't get new coverage. So now, as I face the reality of losing my husband, I'm also facing the reality of what type of funeral/burial I can afford. How can I keep a roof over our heads? How will I protect our son and the life we built together? What will happen to our dogs? I truly believe that if the people who made this decision understood the full human impact, they would not have intended this outcome. Mike is not just a number, he's a father, a husband, a person deeply loved. I'm sharing this in the hopes that it reaches the right people. If you work at or know someone connected to Mike's former employer, please help this story reach them. And if you can't, please share. We are running out of time and trying everything I can to protect my family while still have them here with us. Thank you for reading." So this is a person dying. He probably won't survive this. And now this massive hit to their income not only just loses them like their immediate income, but also the promised like life insurance that they would have gotten when he inevitably passed, and like their entire support structure is gone now because of this. Coming from a billionaire, by the way, who's just buying billions of dollars worth of fucking land in North Carolina. Like, this is disgusting. This guy could solve this problem and he wouldn't even notice it in his bank balance. It's fucked up. Sorry, I'll read some chat. What the fuck is up with these companies? In Denmark, you pay $0 for having cancer. Same here. We know, but it's just really the US life. I think that in Germany, it would be illegal to fire him. Yes, or you pay them out X months of salary. If you do, you need to get rid of them. Yeah. So, yeah, it is really disgusting. There are no protections in America for people like this. In fact, they don't have to even help him at this point. They're only doing so because it's caused so much backlash. Because this went so mega viral that they went, okay, I guess we'll help him out. Even though our CEO has literally enough money to pay him $1 million 10 times and not even notice it was gone from his account. Fucked up, dude. But you have guns, so totally worth it. That's a good point. Yeah, yeehaw, brother, we have guns. I didn't think about that. Anyways, this all culminates in our final point in this Epic Games saga. It's not all bad. If things seem bad, don't worry, because human rat hybrid Tim Sweeney has some words of encouragement. He says that the market has a once in a lifetime chance to pick up some talented people they let go. See, it's not bad. Now all these people are out in the wild. They can find a greener pasture somewhere else. Obviously, we know that the unemployment market is already full of talented people. The question is, if they were so talented, then why did they let them go? Sounds like a mismanagement issue. Tim is a billionaire, though, so the hardship of job searching will never be something he experiences. The most damning part of this all is that Epic Games is not even a public company beholden to investors. Tim did this purely for personal gain and greed. There's no stock price that they're worried about. They're just worried about their constant revenue stream of income. Here's the actual post from him on X, and this went as well as you could probably expect. In the coming days, employers will see a stream of resumes of once-in-a-lifetime quality folks. An important thing to understand is that Epic never lowered our hiring standards as we grew, and the layoff wasn't performance-based, right-sizing, as companies call it nowadays. It's a sound bet that anyone with Epic Games on their resume is in the top few % of their discipline. That's awesome. Then why did you fucking fire them? If they're so good at their job, if they're so good at creating things, then why didn't you fucking create something? Why didn't you make a new game? Why is Fortnite the only profitable game you have on your fucking book right now? Apparently not. It's not even profitable right now. The second it goes not profitable, everyone gets fired. That's crazy. You built your company on a house of cards, and everyone else who loses their job as a result is your fault. It's disgusting. Why does this dude look like an online Fortnite creep that talks with a 10-year-old? I know, he does look, he looks like a fucking dork. He looks like a goober. A once in a lifetime chance to pick up a fucked up, burned out worker who will mistrust you and everyone else for life. And if they sense anything in the waters, they will burn down your company in the blink of an eye. Yeah, that's a good point. That's like having a child that you like abused, and then the state takes it away, and you make a statement saying, well, now some other lucky family out there has a once in a lifetime chance to pick up a really great child that I mismanaged and treated terribly and traumatized. Now there's an orphan out there that will be great for a new family someday. It's like such a weird way of like trying to gaslight people into saying like, this is a good thing actually. Oh, the US is in a fucked up state, and I see that in 3 to 5 years, the general IQ of the US will drop by 20% as everyone with the means will leave the country for better working conditions. Not only that, but our education system is fucked. Everyone's cheating using AI. And people don't have critical thinking anymore. They just use AI. Like, they go like, Grok, what's my name? What's the DM? I wonder if I could find it. DM archive. Grok, what's my name? I hope I can find it. There's like a... Oh, I can't find it. There's a clip from DM Archive. It's like an animated video where he goes he goes like it's like a kid's in school and he's like trying to find the answers for it, and it's like have it fill out his test, and it asks him what his name is for the top, and he's like, yeah, what is my name? The US is turning into a third world country. I wouldn't go that far. I think it's just like a first world like light country. Like, it's like a new version of first world where we go into like the idiocracy timeline. It's still a first world country. It's just like full of like morons. There's always been a lack. There's always been at MoCal the lack of healthcare is, in my opinion, a requirement. No, it's third world. The US is turning it's not that bad. It's not like third world is a stretch. The fact that we have like I'm streaming on multiple monitors. I have like an iPhone. I like it's an insult to say that like I'm living in a third world country because it's just you guys will have their own they might have their own category, but third world is like there are people who don't have power. You know what I mean? Like there are people right now who don't have power and food. Like it's kind of insulting to like compare yourself or like the struggles that you have. Like, oh, work in the US is so hard, I might get fired and not have health insurance. It's like, dog, there are people who like carry water from a brown stream for 2 miles a day. You know what I mean? They get a shower once a week. Like my life is not that hard. Kim Jong-un is able to stream on Twitch. Would you call North Korea not a third world country? Okay, first of all, there's a common misconception on what first and third world countries are. It doesn't even have to do with like being rich or poor. It actually has to do with like alignments between like the US and Russia. So I think like first world countries would be like every country that's like NATO aligned. Third world country just means like you're not like you have no relevance to the global stage. You know what I mean? It just so happens that those third world countries are also typically very poor. So North Korea would technically be like a second world country because it's aligned with Russia, like Russia, China, North Korea, Iran. Those would be like second world countries by like that definition. Anyways, we don't have to get into this. I think that's about it for this story. And that's going to be the main VOD. So say goodbye to YouTube. We're cutting into short episodes that only use part of the main gaming news. If you want to see the full gaming news, watch the Twitch or YouTube VODs from the streams. Anyways, moving on. Night Fort. Fuck YouTube.